Well, good day. Hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to come at you with a quick, well, it may not be quick, but this past weekend I was traveling down to Richmond, Virginia for my nephew's wedding. It was a beautiful ceremony, and just to be surrounded by family was great. But on the way down and while in Richmond, 3 separate people came up to me and basically said, dude, you're jacked. And like, how much do you bench, or what do you do for workouts and everything else? And quite honestly, I'm honored when people say that. It's pretty cool, but I've never figured out a good response until now. And, part of my flesh wants to say, like, get off your ass and you can do it too. And that's not necessarily the right thing, even though it's the truth, right? But here is the truth. 10 years ago, I tried to commit suicide this October. It'll be 10 years. And if it weren't for 2 things, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. Number 1, my wife. When they say marrying yourself for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health, man, I was in poor spirit and I was sick. I was sick, mentally sick, and not in a good place. And when I was laying there, chained to a gurney at Dublin Methodist Hospital, looking up at the tile ceiling with the fluorescent lights, and my wife is sitting over to my right, and I said, "Where is God?" And she said, "He is right here." Not saying that she was God, but that God was with me and has never forsaken me and has never left me. And in reality, God did not come down, so number 2, right? So God did not come down and gently pick me up, when I was at my lowest point. My dude had to excavate to get to me because I was such in a dark, dark place. Picture a hill, and you drill a little hole at the top, and as you go down, that makes a letter V because as you dig, right? And I was down in the bottom of that hole with no light. I had spiraled out of control into a deep, dark, depressive area. With no hope, with no help. I knew I needed to reach out. I knew I needed to do something better. But my ego, my pride, and my status prevented me from happening, or my perceived status in that matter. And so for the last decade, I've made changes in my life. I've changed who I've associated with. I changed what I put my identity into. No longer is a job or a title or a position or a salary my identity. My identity is Christ Jesus and Christ Jesus alone. Anything that comes out of that is all good. It's all good. Several years ago, I lined up in a competition next to a guy named Scott Malloy. And before every event that I do, I pray. I pray to God to protect us. I pray to God to protect the competitors around me. I pray that we all glorify Him by what we do. And we were in the far lane, and I reached over and I said, "Hey, do you guys want to pray before we start?" And I'd never done that before. And Scott and his team came over and we prayed. And that started a relationship with a dude that I'm happy to call like my non-blood brother. And over the last couple of years, we've trained together. We've done different events together. We won a world championship last year together. We trained, we built each other up. I've seen him through stuff. He's seen me through stuff. We've impacted God knows how many lives in the work that we've done together, and we'll continue to do that. But it is all because of God. And this is my ministry. Like, maybe working out is my ministry. I don't know. I'm asking Him to break down anything that's not there. But I say all this to implore you. You've got one life to live. You don't die. You only live once is a terrible, terrible thing. You only die once. You get to live every single day. So you go out and you make that happen. And your mental health and your physical health are very, very closely connected. And if you're not exercising your body and you're eating the Western diet, you're going to be in trouble. Your systems will start to shut down. Your brain will start to shut down. Your liver will start to shut down. Your metabolic functions, your pancreas, your guts, everything will start to shut down because you're wicked out of balance. And yeah, you're going to die of something. You are. But what kind of burden are you going to leave on your kids? What kind of burden are you going to leave on your family if you start living like that, right? I can't say how I'm going to pass. I don't know. But I'm going to stack every deck in my favor that I can to live life to the fullest, to impact other people's lives, and to make a difference in this world. And so when people come up and say, hey, dude, you're jacked. Yeah, thanks. I am, but it's because of the grace of God that I am. It's because His grace, because He wasn't done with me yet 10 years ago, that I'm here talking to you. And so my first thing is that if you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, get it. Let me know. You need help. I'm no expert on the subject. I'm connected with people that are. That is the one thing that has seen me through, and there's multiple blessings that have come out of that relationship. But I wouldn't be here talking to you. You wouldn't be listening to this today if Jesus did not come out of heaven and excavate me out of that hole that I was in. Period. End of story. So, with all that to be said, I'm blessed at 52 years old to have the body that I have, to be competing the way I am, to get after my workouts, to do all those things. I'm blessed. But it's because of the relationship that I have with Jesus. And it's not clean, and it's not always nice. It's messy. People are stupid. People inside of churches are stupid. They say stupid things. I may have been one of those people, probably will be again. But it's a wonderful, beautiful thing, and I wouldn't be here without it. So I implore you, that door is always open for you. It is always open for you. There's nothing that you can do that is so bad that He can't reach down and grab you like He grabbed me. Nothing. He paved a way for us. And so I pray that you find that road, and that your life is blessed like mine is. So, for what it's worth, thanks for listening, and get after it. Love you guys.